Him and Yoongi said, his voice low but sharp. Himmin turned around from the drinks counter, eyes narrowing instantly. What do you want, Min Yoongi? Yoongi leaned against the table, arms crossed. I want you to stop breathing near me. Himmin smirked. Too bad. I can't stop existing just because you hate me. They had been enemies since university started. Different majors, different friends, but always finding a way to annoy each other. If Yoongi was the calm, sarcastic type, Himmin was the loud, bold one, all and water. Unfortunately, they had a mutual best friend Taeyoung who had the bad habit of inviting both of them to every party. Tonight was one of those nights. The music was loud, the living room full of people, and neon lights flickered in the air. Himmin looked stunning in a white shirt, sleeves rolled up, hair perfectly messy. Yoongi hated that he noticed. He looked away, taking a sip of his drink. You've been staring at me for the last 10 minutes, Himmin teased. I was staring at the ugly plant behind you, Yoongi replied without missing a beat. Wow, such romance, Himmin said, rolling his eyes. Tell me, Min, do you ever smile? Yoongi raised an eyebrow. Do you ever shut up? Taeyoung suddenly appeared between them. Great, you two are talking. We're fighting, Yoongi corrected. Same thing for you guys, Taeyoung grinned. Anyway, come play the game, loser. Takes 2 shots. They ended up in a circle on the floor, playing truth or dare by the end of the 3rd round. Both Himmin and Yoongi had lost twice, meaning they'd already taken multiple shots. Himmin's cheeks were flushed, his voice slightly louder. Yoongi wasn't drunk yet, but the warmth in his head was making him careless. Truth, Himmin said when the bottle pointed at him. Do you have a crush on anyone here? Taeyoung asked. Himmin's eyes flicked just for a second towards Yoongi. But then he laughed. Nope. Next question. Yoongi's turn came next. He picked air. I dare you to, Taeyoung thought for a second, then smirked. Kiss Himmin, Yoongi froze. No way. Himmin crossed his arms. Yeah, no thanks. The crowd booed. Come on, just a quick kiss. Yoongi groaned, got up, and leaned down. Himmin tilted his chin defiantly. Their lips brushed for less than a second, but the room erupted into cheers. And something shifted. Yoongi pulled back quickly, ignoring the sudden tightness in his chest. Himmin avoided his eyes and grabbed another drink. Hours later, the party thinned out. Some people left, some passed out on couches. Himmin was still there, sipping his drink at the kitchen counter. Yoongi walked in to get water, finding him alone. You're still here? Yoongi asked. Why, you want me gone? Himmin said, smirking. Always, Yoongi said, but his tone was softer this time. Himmin shrugged. Well, too bad. I'm waiting for Taeyoung. He's my ride. Yoongi poured water into a glass, watching Himmin out of the corner of his eye. Himmin's head was slightly tilted, his lips curved like he was amused by something only he knew. Why do you always look like you're planning trouble? Yoongi asked. Because trouble is fun, Himmin said, leaning closer. And you're so easy to bother. Yoongi rolled his eyes. You're impossible. And you're boring, Himmin teased. Something about the way he said it, half laughing, half challenging, made Yoongi step closer. Careful, Yoongi said quietly. You might regret getting too close. Himmin smiled faintly. Maybe I won't. The next few hours blurred. More drinks, more talking. More teasing that turned into laughter instead of fighting. At some point, they left the kitchen and found themselves outside, sitting on the back porch under the stars. You're not as bad as I thought, Yoonmin admitted. Don't tell anyone, Yoongi replied, but he was smiling. The air grew heavier. Their knees touched. Neither of them moved away, and then, well, you know what happened. Next morning, Yoongi woke up with a pounding headache and sunlight stabbing his eyes. He groaned, rolling over and froze. Yoonmin was there, sleeping, shirtless. His hair was messy, his lips slightly parted. Yoongi sat up too quickly, regretting it instantly when his head spun. Oh no, he muttered. Yoonmin stirred, blinking awake. Morning, he said sleepily. Yoongi stared. Yoonmin smirked faintly. Yeah. Yoongi rubbed his face. We were drunk. Yoonmin stretched like a cat. And that's the only reason it happened, Yoongi said quickly. Yoonmin's smile faded for a second, then came back. Sharper, sure, keep telling yourself that. Yoongi got out of bed, looking for his shirt. This doesn't change anything. Of course not, Yoonmin said, voice dripping with sarcasm. But the truth was it did change something. Because all day, Yoongi couldn't stop thinking about it, about him.
A week later, they avoided each other at first. But it wasn't possible for long, thanks to Taeyoung. One afternoon, Yoongi was leaving the cafe when Yoonmin walked in. They stopped, looked at each other.
Hey, Yoonmin said awkwardly. Hey, Yoongi replied. Silence. Yoonmin sighed. Look, I don't want to fight all the time. Yoongi raised an eyebrow. That's new. I mean it, Yoonmin said, softer now. Maybe we can not be enemies. Yoongi hesitated. He thought about the kiss, the night. The way Yoonmin had looked at him before falling asleep. Maybe, Yoongi said finally. Yoonmin smiled, small but real. Good. Months later, they weren't enemies anymore. They weren't exactly just friends either. They went for coffee, they texted, they teased, but it was different now. One evening, Yoongi found Yoonmin waiting for him outside the music studio. You're late, Yoonmin said. You didn't tell me we were meeting, Yoongi replied. Yoonmin shrugged. Guess I just wanted to see you. Yoongi blinked. You wanted to see me? Yeah, Yoonmin said simply. I like you. Yoongi stared at him for a moment, then smiled. I like you too. And just like that, the war between them ended not with a fight, but with a quiet peace. 1 year later, Yoongi Yoonmin said, leaning against the doorway, HM. Remember when we hated each other? Yoongi chuckled, barely. Yoonmin grinned, walking over to wrap his arms around him. Good, because I like this better. Yoongi kissed the top of his head. Me too. They were still sarcastic. Still teased each other, but now the fights ended with laughter and sometimes kisses, enemies no more. The end.